Hey, hello, welcome guys. So this is the part third or the last past part of the AP invoice import using FDI in Oracle integration. So in previous part one and part two, if you see in past one, we have created integration where we are just reading the data file of header and the line from the SFTP server and we just added the logic to send email, error email or success email. In the second part, what we have done in second part, we created AP invoice header CSV file and the line CSV file based on the FDI template and then created properties file so that we can make a zip. And also in last we created a zip of a zip, and in that zip we added all this file. In this one third part we will just upload this zip file using ERP Cloud Adapter over UCM server, and that it will be with the help of that the properties file we added in the zip, it will run the import program. So let's begin. So here you can see this is the integration in last we created. So where we added the logic to, here you can see added the logic to write create the csv file added the for header. We added the logic to create the csv file for the lines, write it line, and after checking that if we successfully created header and line csv file, then we created the properties file, and then after we created a zip file in which we added all these things. Now it's time to upload that zip file over UCM server with the help of ERP Cloud Adapter. So for that, first we need to create the ERP Cloud Adapter, right? So here if you will see, I have already created ERP Cloud Adapter and I use that one, right? So here you can see the name is that Oracle ERP Cloud Adapter. So the same adapter we will use. So here if you will see the adapter, let me move to the connection, and you will see ERP. Yeah. So this is the connection I have created. So here you can see ERP Cloud Adapter connection where I given the instance URL and the user details. So now what we need to do, we will use this connection in our integration, right? That Oracle ERP Cloud connection. So just let's move to the integration. So here you can see we created integration, this integration, right? So let me search this one. If you will see, so you can see remove zero. So we have the first integration 00 where that is the complete implementation we added. So you can see this is the first integration I have already shown in the video. You can see this is the list of videos. So here in the first video, that is the part 00, you can see I have just explained about the integration. That integration is going to perform all the activity, right? And then we created part one. Part one we saw that this one, that we just read the file from header and the line from the SFTP server, and then the second part we added the logic to create CSV file for header and line and create the properties file and make a gif of that. So here you can see this is the part 2. You can, if you have not watched, you can watch that video also. I will provide the link of that video in description only. So in the next part of third part, we need to create the integration so that we can load the zip file. So we have already this file, so this integration I will make a clone of that and give the name as 03. So 03 will be our final integration, right? So just make a clone here, and after that we will edit 03. In this we have to add the logic. So here you can see, if you will see, we first list the data from the SFTP server for header, then we read the data from server, then after we created the CSV file for the header, then we list the line file, we read the line file from server, then we created the line CSV file one. And after that, once all the completed, then we add the logic to check that we have created a header and line file or not. And after if the created successfully, then we created the properties file and we added the stage zip operation so that we can make a zip of the property file and the header and line csv file. So here in this step we successfully created zip file. Now it's time to upload the zip file over in ERP Cloud bulk upload with the help of ERP Cloud Adapter. So let me add. So here you can see that the ERP Cloud Adapter, we have created XX Oracle ERP Cloud Adapter. I will drag here. Once we'll drag, we need to pass. So here I will use import invoice underscore ERP Cloud as this is ERP Cloud Adapter connection. So just next. And here if you will see, if we want to check the status of any program, any import program executed and all, we can select the query. But now we have to use bulk upload. So I will select the second option, import bulk data into Oracle ERP Cloud. Right, once we selected, just go to next, and here we need to select the import program, right? So it will take a little bit of time. So here you can see we have to select our import program. You can see select bulk data import process. So here our import program is that import payables invoice, right? So I will select import payables here. If you will see, I am what import paya. If I will search, you can see somewhere. Let's select here from import payables, import general. Yeah, you can see this is the import payables invoices. So we will select this one, import payable invoices. And once, if you will see, after selecting, you can see the below, you can see the UCM account. That is the same account while we are getting while uploading the FBDI file from front end only, right, manually. And here you can see the import job name and the package name. This is the same value we added in the properties file. If you remember, like while creating the properties file, we added the package name and the definition. So this is the same package name and the definition. So these things you can figure out from here only, or you can go and you can check in the setup and maintenance also, right? So I have already provided the same in my file. So here you can see everything is fine. Reuse job properties. Here you can see reuse job property file uploaded separately in UCM server. No, I have already added the properties file in CSV, so we don't require to tick here, right? And you can say job properties file, extract file, we want to extract all the file, right? Each and everything, this will be like listed in the callback integration only, right? So here you can see additional import program. I don't want to do any additional import program, just go to next. And here you can see notification mode, email and bill notification, everything. So I just selected as default occurrence send in any case, yeah, true. If the file uploaded successfully or error, we just want to send that everything, right? So it's done. Here we have option to enable the callback. So as I am not going to configure the callback for this integration, so I will just skip this one callback. I will create separate videos for that where I will explain you about the callback. So just go to next and done. So here we added the ERP Cloud adapter, and in this ERP Cloud adapter we have to provide the reference of this zip file so that this zip file can be uploaded over Oracle Fusion with the help of the import program we selected. So here in mapping, if you will go in the mapping, we need to provide the zip file reference, and this ERP Cloud Adapter will return back response as a request ID, whatever they executed. So here you can see the header. If you will see in header, we don't want to do anything. In the ICS file, we have to provide the file reference of the zip file. So if you will go to the below, here we have zip stage response. So once you will expand inside that, here we will have the ICS file. Inside we have file reference. So we'll provide the file reference, and in the properties we need to provide the file name. So here you can see if we will expand the properties, here we have file name. So we will map the file name with the file name. That's it. This is the only things we have to map here, right? So we need to validate and we'll do close. So it's validated cloud. So once this will be executed, right, the ERP Cloud Adapter will be executed, it will return back response as a import process ID, right? So what we need to do is that we need to map this import process ID with the response of that integration. So I will just go and edit the integration wrapper. Here we response wrapper, in response wrapper we added the response, right? Response option as, yeah, request ID. So this request ID we will get from the ERP Cloud Adapter response. So where is, let's check where is that ERP Cloud. Okay, so we are not able to find ERP Cloud Adapter ID. Because of that, this is available in this scope only, the if and else. So that's why outside this if we don't have that value, import invoice, you can see outside this if we don't have. So what we need to do is that we need to just, here you can see we don't have that one, right? So what we need to do is that we need to create one variable and in that variable we will store this ID. So here if you will see, we already created a default variable. So here we will add one more variable and we'll provide the name as import id underscore var. So here no, I will use var underscore import id, right? Import id. Now in starting it will be -1 so that we can easily identify we have values or not. That's done. Validate and close. And now here if you will see, here we will update the value. So we'll add assign here, update request id assign. Just click here. I will go select the variable import id, not the request id. We created a variable, right? Where import id we created, right? And this import id here we will just replace this one import. Yeah, you can see the import invoice ERP Cloud response here. This is the result, and this result is nothing. This is the ID, the import program ID, right? So here where import ID we will map with the response. So as this variable is created outside the scope, that's why we will get that variable here only, right? So in the mapping, there you can see in the response wrapper, if you will expand request wrapper, we have request ID, and for request ID we have the import ID, right? So we'll map here. So now it's validated and close. So everything is done. So now here you can see what we have done is that we have just uploaded the zip file over UCM server, right, with the help of ERP bulk upload, right? So now it once it will uploaded, it will return back the request ID in a response of that integration, right? So let's our integration completed. Let's activate this integration and let's execute so that we can check the status. So here let me enable this one. So once it will be completed, it will we will run this integration, right? So here you can see 03 is our final integration. So I will go and test, and here you can see in response we don't have anything, but once we will test, it will return back the request ID, and the same request ID we can find from our fusion only, right? So just click test. It will take a little bit of time so that it will process all these things. Here you can see once the process, we got the request ID, and we can find this request ID here. So here just we need to move to the tools. Inside tools we have schedule process. In this schedule process we can check the request ID. So here you can see the request ID what we got as 930, and here if you will find 930, you can see this one. This is the load interface file for import 930 is run by the integration. This is the ID. So once this will be completed, we can identify that our file is loaded over UCM server and it will run the import program if we don't have any error, right? So 930 we will check. So here you can see the 930. Yeah, you can see that the load interface file for import 930 completed in error. It means there is some error in our data file. So well, let's first identify what is the error. So I just realized what error can be. So if I will go and check the here log. So here you can see it's generated the interface header file, line file, properties file, and the log file. So let's just check the log file. What's the message in the log file? Zip file contain request parameter. The zip file contains data file with invalid extension. Properties will check, right? Somewhere we have done mistake, right? So we will check. So here there are many programs, so it's little bit difficult to identify. So what I will do, I will just make this as a hierarchy, and here we will find our request set, right? That is the this 930 load interface. So here if you will see, this is our program 930, this one, and this completed in error, and we have to identify. So here if you will see, once I will explain the reason for error, we will check. Okay, the transfer file completed successful, but load file for interface both is completed in error. So this is the program which is going to load the header file and the line csv file in interface table. So let me check the log message of that so that we can identify the error. So here if you will see the log message, what this log message is saying is that this is actually a SQL loader program, right? So log message is here you can see we have total 2 record, that's true, and the total records read, and you can see 2 record not loaded due to error. What's the error? error, you can see the invoice ID. We have error, rejected error on the table AP invoices interface, column invoice date. So we have invoice date error. So I got to know that what's the error. If you will see here, the CSV VAT data file, right? If you will see, so in the data file, you can see the date format we provided, the 3/8/2023. That's the wrong date format. FDI template does not allow this format. They allowed 2023-08 and 03. This is the year, month, and the date. This format we need to provide, but we provided the value in this format. That's the wrong values, right? So what we need to do is that we need to change the format of that. So here, if you will see, in what we can do in our integration, we can change the mapping, right? We can change the logic for date. So for that, what we need to do is that I have already a function, a JavaScript function that is going to help. Here you can see this a function at date, the format date in XPath. I have given the name of this function, this one, right? So what I will use this function, the JavaScript function. I will provide the date, whatever date we are getting from CSV file here, and this function will return me back the date in the format of year, month, and the date, right? So I will use this one. So let me create new function with this name. So I will just make the function names something like that. So I will just, let me copy this one. Wait, so I will use format date underscore YYY underscore MMDD. Just I just want to give the name like that, right? So here I have to save this one. So let me save here as a format date underscore XX underscore MM sorry YYY mmdd dot JSP as JS, sorry, JavaScript. So here we have to make it as JS save, and this is the file, this is the JavaScript file we can use. So as you are aware about that, in our integration we can use JavaScript function, so that make we can make custom function. So how we can add this JavaScript function in our integration, let me show you. So how we can add this JavaScript function. So here let's move to the integration. So now what we need to do, we need to go to the library, and in the library we need to add this one, right? So here in the library we will create, and here we need to upload the JavaScript file. So just I will upload here my JavaScript file. So this is my file JavaScript. Here we added, and let provide the name of this library. So I will use same name, right? I will provide the same name so that it will not make any confusion. For format date, oh sorry, need to upload it again, that was removed. Format date underscore YYY underscore DD and sorry MM underscore DD, right? That's the name. So fine, create. So here you can see our JavaScript function created, and this function, we have this function. This function is going to take input and going to return back the output. So here this is our code. Whatever code we have added, we can download from here only. So that's it. So we added JavaScript function libraries here, and we can use this one in our integration, right? So just that's fine, just moved. So here first edit, and here we need to select this one and then save, so that it can remove from the draft status. So why it's not showing, just check, let me check. So I just added this one, just click here and save. This is configured. Now we can use this in our integration. So here you can see the name, this one. So how we can use is that, if you will see, this is our integration, we will edit this integration, right? So once we will edit the integration, you can see whenever we are going to map the date, right? So we have used date in two places, in header file and the line file. So here this is the header file, right? Header file we are using, right? So here we will edit, and instead of passing directly, right, instead of passing the date directly, so where is the date, you can see invoice date, right? Here we are passing this invoice date directly from here only. So instead of passing this invoice date directly, we need to convert first this date, right? So how we can convert, we will use that the custom function added. So you can say user defined function, this is the function we added. So I will drag this function here. This function will take the date and it will convert the date into this format. So as we have added the logic here, it will accept the date, and that date will be converted into dd YYYMM and dd, and it is going to return back as this value, right? So now done, we will add done. So here instead of this date and we already also used at the different date here, invoice date, then after we use accounting date, the terms date, payment terms date, right? So again we will do the same with the terms date, this one. So I will remove this one first, I will map here, and here I will use terms date, right? And then we have accounting date, right? Yeah, this one. So again we will update this one also, so I will map here, and instead of this accounting date we will map here. So now our header file is done. The same issue we have in the line file also. As you can see, we got the error in the line file also, the two, this one load file for this is for header, this is for line, and we have warning in both. So first we need to change the mapping in both, right? So cancel, close, sorry, and here we added the line file here, this one. So here in the mapping of the line file we need to change. So this is the way you can identify your error of the integration, and you can do the changes based on the requirement, right? So here, as we know that the in the FBDI sheet we need to provide the date, different date format. So here invoice date, invoice ID, line amount, fine, description, that's okay, distribution, accounting date here we are using. In the file only we have only one column, accounting date. So what I will do, I will again edit this one, use the user defined function, this one, and this accounting date we will pass here, right? And map. So here you can see that the functionalities is changed. Done, we have done everything. Now we don't have any issue in our integration, and now done, it's time to upload, right? Close. Even we can add more validation in our integration, right? So we'll do more validation in next videos. This is the basic videos. I want to create a series so that you can learn from scratch how you can design the integration for a video import. So now it's fine, we are going to import. So again, test here, let me refresh. It will again run the load interface file for import, and you can, if you will see, the bulk upload will run two import program. This is the import set load interface file for import. If this import completed successfully, then only it will call another program, that is the import file, import program, the import AP payables, right? Accounts payables. So here if you will see, they generated the response, and ID is 39039. So where is 039? 03538. Let me refresh again. So the latest one which we receive is that the 123090939, right? So we will check here only. Here you can see this one, 123 yeah, correct, this is the one same. So here if you will see, you will expand here, you can see the different program inside this one. And here you can see this time the transfer file completed successfully, load file for interface completed successfully, and load file for another interface complete successfully. It will take a little bit of time, and this import will also be complete, and then after it will run the import payables program. So here you can see 39, just check, you can easily identify. Once this one completed, it will run the import program. So here you can see this one, after that 039, yeah, this is the 039 our load program, and after that it's called the import payables invoices, and that import payables invoice is also completed successfully, right? And after that it's generate the report. It means that the our data loaded successfully in interface table, then with the help of import program the same data will move to the base table, or it will show you the error if any, right? So here if you will see, after that it's called the import payables invoice report. So here you can see the report. So if we'll check and go to the here, you can see they generated the report. So let me check this report. So here you can see this is the import set we added, right? We added xx import set underscore, this is the instance ID. If you will see our instance ID 1200112, this is the same instance ID we added. We added the same for import set, we added same for the import group, and you can see the number of parallel processing 1. And here we don't have any values, right? Payables open interface import report, no data found. It means our invoice not created. If you will move below, you can see the error details. So error details, you can see duplicate invoice number. It means that whatever data file we have our server, that have the invoice number which is already created in server. So you can see this is the invoice number which is already created over in server. So we need to change the invoice number. So here you can see in the FTP server whatever file we uploaded. So let's delete the file and we will place new file, right? So delete the file. Here we have the file. If you will see, this is the file we uploaded. So here in the headers, let me change the invoice number, right? So this is the invoice number. This is the invoice number which is already created. So here let me pass, instead of 0056 let's provide 09 and 10, right? This is the invoice number we provided. So save. So here you can see in Excel date format we are passing 3/8/2023. This is not the correct format. That's why we got error. So we updated this format and we convert this format to the actual format YYMMDD in our integration with the help of JavaScript function only, right? So 910 is the invoice number. The same we have to change in line also, right? Even in the line, here you can see 909. So this will be duplicate this one and the 10 10, right? So here, so we change the value, done. And now we will upload this file over server. So here again we will come, and if you will refresh, you can see this date is uploaded. So this is the invoice header. We will move this file here, back line. Here we have line file, we move the here. So now if we will upload, this file will be consumed. So again we will move to the here, and here in integration let's run again. So it will generate another request ID. Right, here you can say new ID is 094. So here in monitor, if in the schedule program processes, if we will refresh, we will get the new import program ID. Right, here the ID is 094. The same we can figure out here. So 094, it's in running status. So once it will complete, you can see this one, the 094. This is the one, and this is in running status. So it's ready. It will take a little bit of time to execute. So just wait again. So once this will be completed, it will run the import program. So here you can see the 94 is completed successfully. That's after that you can see it's executed the import payables invoice program. So it's in wait status. Once it will complete, it will run the imports payable invoice report, and that report we can easily identify the invoice created, right, or not, whatever we have. So once we will create the callback integration, in that callback integration we will get all the details related to here. Whatever details we are getting here, each for each log message of each and every import programs we will get in the callback integration itself. So I will create callback integration also, and I will explain you there all the details. So just first we check. So here you can see the report is also completed successfully, and here we will see. So once you will open here, click here, you can see the details. So now this time you can see the input set is 13113, and you can see this is the 113 is our instance ID, as we added the logic here only for that. And here you can see again we did duplicate invoice number, that the 5 6, again it's loaded the same file, right? The invoice number 5 and 6. How it is possible? Somewhere we have done the mistake. Let me check. So here if you will see what the data they receive from the server. So list here, read the file, and in read file what's the invoice number? 5 6. It means the file we uploaded, that was not the correct file, right? So if you will see here, invoice number is a still 5 6, as we have changed, but it's still 6 here. So let's update again. So suppose 9 and 10, and save. Yes, yes, save. Yes, we have to save this one as header only. So suppose here we want to change this one to header CSV to 202303, and its date is 18, and the 7:07:37 and suppose 01 second, right? This is the header CSV file. That's fine. And here it is the line, so let's open the line CSV file, and here we have to change the name. So this line is already true, right? 9 is fine, so we have the correct data in 910. So that's the fine. Save. Let me change the name for line also. So here I will use 2023/03/18/07/37/3701 dot CSV, right? So let's save. Done. So here let me remove this one, delete this one, the invoice line header also we will delete. And now here we will pass new one. So we pass this, we created this one, right? So here invoice header, we have two headers. So 231, this is the 10/3/03 we created today, right? So which one we created, right? No, let's identify. 737, 737, 737, this two, that two is 18/3. That's, let me change the file name, it's a little bit confusing, right? So header one and the line one, let me remove this two. And if you check the header, this header, the invoice ID 910, that's fine. And the line also we have 910, that's fine. This is the two file we will upload. So this is the directory we have. Here you can see this is the same directory. Okay, and this is the header folder, so I will provide header file here. And this is the line folder, so I will drag this line file here. So we uploaded the header and line file, just we will go and again run the integration test. So this time it will generate another request ID. So here you can see it generated request ID as 147. So just wait for a while so that it will show the import program here only. And if you will check the payload here, let's, till it's running, we can see here, you can see load interface file for import with the 147 request ID 147. It's executed here. Just refresh again, we will check. Till here we can also check in the log messages. So here you can see the header details we got from the read SFTP. Here, yeah, we have the invoice number as 09 and the 1010, right? So these two. And if you will see the line details, where is the line, read line FTP, right? So if you will see the message, this one 9 as we have two lines for 9, three lines for 10, 1 2 and 3. So now this time we read the accurate file, say true file. So here this time let's check, the 47 will be completed and it will run the import program. So here you can see that the 47 succeeded, and that after it's run the imports payable invoice, it's also succeeded, and it's all after that it's run the import payables invoices reports. So here you can see it's in running status. If you will see the log message of the import payables, here you can see the log messages that contains the details records loaded. So here you can see the two fetches, two invoice details fetched, and the two is processed, right? So here you can see the created fetch 2 and created 2, right? That's perfectly fine. So here just waiting for the completion of the report. And once this report show that invoice created, we will check the same report from the front end only, right? So here this is the import payables invoice report, and if you will open here, you can see the two invoices. Here you can see this is the request ID as 14, and here you can see this is the 14 as instance ID. And that if you will see inside that, what we have a payable open invoice audit report, and here you can see supplier, this one invoice number 9 and 10 created, right? You can see the, this is the import payables audit report. And here you can see no data found in the case of rejection. Yeah, there is no rejection, all the invoice created. So you can see these two invoice created with the two lines and the three lines. So if we will search this invoice from the front end, so here if you will see we have invoice group, right? So we can directly search invoice with that invoice group only, right? So here let for searching the invoice, just go to the home. We'll go for the payables. Inside that we have invoices, right? So just move to the invoice here only. It will take little of time to open because of the slowness. Here we need to move to the manage invoices. So in task you can see we have icon to change manage invoices. So we'll go to the manage invoice. Even in the validation, we can do the validation of the invoice in the even in the callback integration only. So here we will search invoice group. So here this is the id, and if you will search the invoice group, you can see all the invoices created in the batch in the group. So you can see we created two invoice, xx inv fbdi 09 and 010 here. So the two invoices showing here. So this is the main logic also for using the invoice group. You can directly search that invoice created in the group only, right? So thank you so much guys. In this videos we learn how to create FBDI integration for AP invoices loaded. So there are total three steps. We created the integration in the three step. Even in our integration we can add logic to check the status of the import program. So we call the import program and we are waiting, right? So we can even check the status also that created successfully or not. And thank you so much guys for watching. You can subscribe our channel, and if you have any issues you can make a comment of that. Thank you so much for watching.